Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So in this one, I wanted to talk about a potential reunion between the New York Jets and safety, former second round pick made by the New York Jets out of Florida, Marcus Maye. Right now, this idea actually came from jotting down free agent names, right, guys that are currently out there. And I was sitting there scrolling through the list. I saw Maye's name on the list, and there is a difference between Marcus Maye and a lot of these other safeties, right? I think as much as I would love to have a Quandre Diggs, I would love to have a Justin Simmons. I think Eddie Jackson would be an interesting addition as well. But with Marcus Maye, he's coming off a little tenure in New Orleans, right? Signed that 3-year, I believe it was a 3-year contract initially. Couldn't make it through 2 years. He had the suspension. He had injuries, right? He only played in 17 games over the course of the 2 years for New Orleans, and it wasn't all that great, right? He made some plays. He definitely did some good things for the Saints defense, but he wasn't the perfect player. There were some mistakes on the field, and in the end, it just wasn't worth the money for New Orleans, right? We all know the Saints cap situation. It's not the best, right? So they can't afford to keep bigger contracts on the roster if they don't feel like that player is living up to that contract. So they ended up releasing Marcus Maye, and he's out there on the open market, and we've heard multiple reports. We've heard, I believe it was either Saleh and or Joe Douglas literally say that they're still in the market for veteran safety. We're looking at the room right now. It's Chuck Clark, it's Tony Adams, it's Ashton Davis. Now, in the Clark and Ashton Davis situations, both of those guys are on 1-year deals. And it is safe to say that a veteran safety for this group would be a nice addition, right? That would, first of all, it would provide insurance for, the event of an injury happening in preseason. We've seen LaMarcus Joyner go down early in the season, and then the Jets are just, searching for a free safety. I believe LaMarcus Joyner actually got hurt in week 1 of a season a couple years ago. But in any case, I think a lot of Jets fans could agree, you know what, if we add some veteran depth back there, especially a Quandre Diggs or Justin Simmons, that would really, really be a big boost. The problem with those top guys, I just don't feel like they're going to be coming in at cheap prices. I think Quandre will probably be a little bit cheaper than Justin Simmons. And it's not to look, Justin Simmons, he's not going to be signing a 3-year deal worth, 12, 13, 14 million dollars a season. It's just, at this point, it's just not going to happen. Now, the Tennessee Titans have been linked to all of these guys. Simmons, Diggs, Marcus Maye. I do feel like at some point in time, the Titans will strike and they will sign one of these bigger name safeties. But it begs the question for the New York Jets, what are we going to do there? Are we just this is such a luxury, right, that the Jets are in right now. Maybe not with the cap. Currently, we're sitting right around $9.1 million, but we have not signed any of our rookie draft picks yet. But talk about a team with a need internally, right? They feel like they need to add to that room. And you're looking at the free agent market in May, and there are multiple starters, multiple guys that make sense, multiple guys coming in at different price ranges. I mean, you're in a pretty good spot if you're Joe Douglas and you're looking at the market. It's not like one guy out in the market is just like, he kind of wants too much, and he wants a lot of money, or he might not fit the system, or he doesn't have any interest in coming to New York, or whatever the case may be. We're not in that position. We can literally cycle through. And by the way, those are just the top guys. Those aren't just the only available safeties out there. And another thing too that we can talk about is our potential waiver pickups, right? The guys that don't maybe make the team with another squad, they're released. Now the New York Jets can scoop them up. But with Marcus Maye, I think because the couple of seasons in New Orleans were filled with injury, were filled with, a lot of missed time, he's not going to be asking for a lot of money. And the one thing that we do know about Marcus Maye, he can play free safety. He can play strong safety. He's played both at a high level before. Obviously, as Jets fans, we've seen a lot of really good from Marcus Maye throughout the years. My favorite year of Marcus Maye was actually the year that we traded Jamal Adams. Right, we move Adams, and Greg Williams is the team's defensive coordinator. We now need Marcus Maye to step up, not only just fill Jamal Adams' shoes, but to take on kind of this vocal leader, this clubhouse leader style of position. And Marcus Maye freaking does that, and he has the best season of his career. And then we end up letting him walk, which I was pretty disappointed about at the time. I did not want to see him go, and I did like the acquisition in New Orleans. And it's not to say that he sucked for the Saints. He definitely did not suck for New Orleans. He made some plays, but it just wasn't all perfect, right? I think the best, when you think of Marcus Maye, the good, it's definitely with the New York Jets. Now, as far as where he would line up on the depth chart, I guess maybe first off contract, I would say like a 1 year, $5 million or less. I think that's totally realistic for Marcus Maye. I don't see him signing like a $9 million a year deal or an $8 million deal. Not really, right? Under $5 million. Whereas maybe Justin Simmons, I think, is like around that 9-10 mil, somewhere in that range. Quandre Diggs maybe in that 5 to 9 mil, somewhere there. But with Maye, I definitely see him as the cheapest option out of all these guys, or I should say, out of the top guys. So I think when you're looking at Marcus Maye, I definitely see him having a role with this Jets team. Who would be the odd man out? I think Chuck Clark is going to be receiving a lot of playing time this year for sure. I think Tony Adams is going to be seeing a lot of playing time. Right now, I kind of feel like Ashton Davis is that third guy. So I think if Marcus Maye is the primary backup, or it's him and Ashton Davis as the go-to backups, I'm looking at the safety room feeling pretty satisfied. You know, especially if somebody were to go down with an injury, and we have somebody that can step in immediately and perform and be able to hold up against these stud quarterbacks that are just they're riddled throughout the AFC. Lamar, Burrow, Allen, Mahomes, Herbert, all these different guys. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Would you like a potential reunion between the Jets and Marcus Maye, or do you think they should just swing for the fences, go for a Justin Simmons, go for a Quandre Diggs, make it happen with the cap? It's crazy, right? Because we traded away John Franklin Myers, which was not a lot of people saw that coming. Right, to clear clear a big bulk of his cash that he was owed. We also traded Zach Wilson. Right, I didn't really feel like there was a trade suitor, especially before the draft for Zach. So we cleared some money there. We can still extend DJ Reed and lower his cap and kind of give it to him on the back end of the deal. Man, I'm honestly really surprised that we haven't had any reports, any rumors about a DJ Reed contract extension. I mean, to me, I really want to keep him around. I don't want to be entering the next free agency cycle with a need at corner. And I get it, right? They're expendable. You can always draft a corner. I mean, look at all the guys this year. Rakestraw in round 2, McKinstry in round 2, DeJean in round 2. Although maybe you kind of view DeJean as a safety. But I mean, the best corner, according to the Philadelphia Eagles, was Quinyon Mitchell. They had their choice at 22. It's not going to be like that every year. Terrion Arnold late to the Detroit Lions. It's not going to be like that every year. Nate Wiggins to Baltimore, bottom round 1. Again, it's not going to be like that every year, but it goes to show that you can scoop up a corner. But man, I really love DJ Reed. I really want to see him around, and I think extending him would also, of course, it would be great for him, great for the locker room, great for the defense, but it would also drive that cap number down if DJ Reed is down to do that. But if he's if he's signing a multi-year extension with the same team, he should be down for that. I don't see a situation where he would decline that unless he wants to maybe cash in again in free agency with another team. But anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Jets.